All right. Hey guys. Okay, so this is a follow-up to last week. Last week I shared just kind of a bit about growing up, and this week I'm going to share about finding my birth family. So when I turned 30, I don't know, there's something big about 30, which I think a lot of people can relate to. Turning 30, I really want to take the reins on my health. Um, I really, I don't know, like there were just things I wanted to do. Mother's Day came around. So it was this time. Oh my gosh, I can't even think how many years ago. 2007? No, I don't even know now. I'm horrible. I don't even know the year exactly when I 2017. Yes, okay. 2017 is when I don't know, around this time of year in 2017, I was kind of like, maybe I want to find my birth mom, find my birth family, kind of see what it's all about. Scary, okay? Super, super scary because it's the unknown. Thoughts that went through my mind. What's going to happen? Like, what's going to happen? Is she going to reject me? Is she going to want anything to do with me? Is she even still alive? Is she going to be so mad at me? My whole point in finding my birth mom was to tell her thank you. My parents, I have letters and stuff I could show. My dad, I think it's right here. Yes, my dad collected this huge book for me. Has my name on it. He's so cute. And I've shared it before. I don't know if that's the right or wrong way. When I was going to start looking. So in here, there's a letter from my birth mom. And one of the passages, and I'll keep talking as I find it, but just a beautiful passage. So I was like, maybe I think I want to do this. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? And so I'm like, okay. So what I started to do when Facebook Live was super, super popular, I started to go on Facebook Live. I went on every single Monday and just kind of gave updates of stuff I had, things I wanted to do, like how to find her. It was more just like a Mother's Day message to say, I'm so grateful for her and I'm so grateful for my mom because without the two of them, things wouldn't have happened in my life the way they've happened, So more than anything, I just wanted to find her and tell her thank you. Because of her, she gave me this amazing life. So I'm trying to think. Sorry, I'm trying to find this. So started getting on, started sharing things. Crazy thing is Ben. Okay, so my husband, how long has he been in his job now? Probably almost 6 years. The first place he went for work was Colombia. I'm like, okay, there's no coincidence in that. He met a friend who works there. Absolutely love him. He actually helped us do some digging too. Before all of this, he helped us do some digging. He found her, and found that she was on their welfare there, which was crazy. He's like, but I can't trace anything else. There's a public record of this sort of thing, but that's about all he could do. So I have a friend from high school and I love her. Her name is Katie. And I was doing these lives and so crazy. She reached out to me and she's like, hey, I know you're looking for your birth mom. I know you're sharing your story, having people, help you find, but I have this girl that I know that she ironically just posted on her Facebook. She wants to help somebody find their birth family, but it can be no strings attached. So you can't be mad at her if there's no good outcome, all those sorts of things, which 100% I get. So she connected us. And it's crazy. Nicest person ever. I love her. Love her, love her, love her. We finally anyway, we got to meet. I got to have dinner with her when I was hugely pregnant with Colt and it was just amazing. Anyway, so she started digging on her part. She'd ask me here and there for questions and do these things. You guys, she's like a freaking private eye that I didn't have to pay for. Okay? She's amazing. Amazing. So she's doing all this sleuthing and I'm still giving updates and all this and all that and all this. And she's getting into these Facebook groups. Mind you, she speaks Spanish too. And it's crazy because I don't believe she's ever worked internationally with adoption, just domestic, because she has worked for agencies in the past. And so this was crazy how fast it went, you guys. I put it out there, met her within a month. My friend Katie reached out to me within a month. And then 2 months later, she had found her. and all my siblings. So crazy. So I remember very vividly, she sent me a picture and she said, well, first off, she's like, I think we found her. And my heart dropped. And then she sent a picture. Sure enough, it was her. Okay. I was in a movie. We just finished a movie. I was with Ben and my cousin James, who's like my little brother and one of my best friends. He was with us. We were in a movie. We were at what was it, Baywatch with The Rock. It just got done, and I looked at both of them. I looked at Ben first. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think she found her. And he's like, and then I looked at my cousin. I'm like, oh my gosh, I think he found her. And they're both like, serious? So I showed him the pictures, talking to her. So then she starts sending me Facebook profiles. She's like, I think these are your siblings. I'm like, oh my gosh, bam, 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 bam. You guys, there are 7 of us. I'm smack dab in the middle. Smack dab in the middle. I have an older brother, older sister. There's me, little brother, little brother, little brother. Okay. So kind of crazy. So what do? I connect with them. I reach out to them. Hey, okay, would this not be weird? Hey, I think I'm your biological sister. Okay. A couple of them my friend requested, they denied. Because let's be real, they didn't know about me, you guys. They were never told anything about me. So of course they're like, who's this psycho lady that speaks English is trying to reach out to us, okay? But then I had Alvaro, is our friend's name that lives in Colombia that's friends with Ben. He called. We got her number. Like she got her number, and my brother-in-law Andres was the one that, not my brother-in-law, my brother. Andres is the one that was making like all the connections with Christina and the other person that was helping her. And so he had all that, like finally they gave phone numbers. Okay. So along those lines, phone numbers were exchanged and got her phone number. And so our friend Alvaro, he's like, you want me to call her? And so he's like, yeah. So I'm like, sure. So I remember I was at my in-laws' house hanging out with my sister-in-law. And like, you know, Mac was still little. And he's like, okay. And he called her and he got off the phone with her. And so then he called me and he's like, oh my gosh, Melaina, I have so much to tell you. Like, it's her. You're her daughter. Like, la, la, la. Like, he's like, she did it because she loved you and she would love to meet you. And so, of course, I'm like, oh my gosh, like all this craziness. He's just like, she's so happy. She prays for you every day. She prays for your happiness. She prays that you're safe. She prays that you're, you know, doing well. And so I'm just like super overwhelmed, like going and tell my sister-in-law. She's like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. And so then, like, it's just crazy how this all unfolded. So then, like, Christina also, like, before this too, she's like, she wants to meet you. She wants to meet you. So I'm like, oh my gosh, crap, like setting all this up. So again, more numbers were exchanged. Ironically, the youngest brother, he speaks English and Spanish. So he lives with his godmother in Colombia. And she has older sons that live in the States. Okay. They came to the States and they live here. And they would travel back home to Colombia. Like their families are here, they live here, but they would only speak English to him. So he had to learn English only. Like, I'm like, there's no coincidence in that. Okay. There's no coincidence in that. 100% God. You guys, this whole entire journey, 100%. And this is something, I don't care what faith you are, whatever, this solidified my belief in God. 100%. It's not something I ever felt I struggled with, but I was just kind of like, you know, like kind of go with the flow with the religion that I'm brought up in. And I've been talking to some people about you just go with the flow. You do all the things, and then as you get older, then you start to learn and all these things and, you know, question things for yourself, which is fine, which is healthy. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I remember it was work, and it was a really, really busy time for him. Really, really busy time for work. And so I remember them messaging me and they're like, hey, we want to speak to you. And oh, really quick before that, my one brother, he's like, we want to see that you have documentation that she really is, you know, like this is really her. I get that. They're protective of her. They don't want somebody like scamming. I wholeheartedly get that. So on here, like when they sign it, she has her, it's kind of like a social security number. Yeah, that like kind of says that that's, yeah, she's giving, or that who she is, to identify her. Anyway, I'm also trying to find the letter she wrote to me because it's just beautiful. Anyway, I'll tell you this too. I had a different birth name. My birth name was Wendy Carolina Mejia. That was my name. That's what she named me. So kind of crazy with that too. Pretty much, I just want to find the part of it. There's so many different letters because my parents had to write letters. She wrote letters, but there's one part in it that is just, okay, this is it right here. So this is like a letter that she wrote giving me to my family. And like this right here. I'm sorry, but I have mad respect for birth moms because they do a lot. And this, it says, I give her to the already mentioned family because they can provide the things that I cannot give her. They will give her good education, moral foundation, and intellect, which is just so amazing. Like anyway, okay, I'm rambling. Let's get back to the story. So we set up a time to meet, and I remember Ben was working so much, and so like I was kind of going through a lot of this alone. Granted, he'd come home at night and we'd talk about it, but he'd be just, I get it, done with work. But he was so supportive through the whole thing. And so like this was a whole new thing to me. And the thing is I knew in doing this, feelings would get hurt with loved ones, and sure enough, they did. And it was never an intention to happen. And I know fellow adoptees can profess with the same thing. It's not something trying to do to replace anybody or do anything, but I have learned, and I feel wholeheartedly, I have every right to know where I've come from. Every right to know where I've come from. Everybody does. I don't care who you are. I think everybody does. Anyway, sorry, I'm blabbing. So we set up a meeting to meet them. Ironically, it's Father's Day of that year. My older brother, he went on a mission, Spanish speaking. And so I asked him to come over and help. And this is kind of before we all knew that my one little brother spoke English so extremely well. And so, of course, we called him. I don't even know what we called him over. Maybe WhatsApp, because that's like what I communicate with them. And he was there. And we put it up on our TV, I remember, so everybody could see. Like, it was just me and Ben, our kids, and Ben wrangled the kids. He's amazing. I should have had somebody else come over and wrangle the kids, but I didn't know at the time, and my brother. And it's crazy because my littlest brother comes on. He's like, hey, how are you? La, 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 la. He's like, you want to talk to our mom? I'm like, I would love to. Everybody was there. All my siblings came because, of course, they didn't know anything about me. But I saw her and just overwhelmed with so much emotion. And I hope to meet them one day too in person. And of course, that's a journey I would love to share and take on. Hang on one second. Hi. What's up? Will you give him my phone? It's okay. Max doesn't feel very okay, go get my phone. Okay, go get my phone. Go get my phone. Give me a sec. Okay, I have to go tend to a little kid here in just a sec. Anyway, I'll make this quick. So we meet them and I see her. She starts crying. I start crying. It's just crazy and amazing. I start seeing all the other siblings. They're crying. I'm crying. And to me, it's just so crazy seeing people that look like me. And I've gotten to know them more. Mannerisms are it's crazy all the mannerisms I see that I have and they have that are the same. And I've never been around. Like, it's so crazy. It's so wild. Anyway, like I said, I got to make this fast because you could see my daughter. She's probably over exaggerating, but I'll make it fast. So we talked. It was amazing. We talked so much for quite a while. And then life just came. They all went back to school, and you just get busy and it gets hard. And we still talk and we still, text a lot, and it's hard and just, I don't know. But one day I want to get there and meet them. And overall, it was an amazing experience. There was so many people that came into my life when they needed to come into my life to make things happen. The crazy thing is they did show me her vision board. She had a vision board and she had a family on there, and like they didn't quite understand it. It was like a girl and a boy and then a child. And then when I talked to her, she's like, that represented you. And the crazy thing too is as soon as I started like looking for her, she started doing the exact same thing. Well, she started praying and thinking about me a lot. And it's crazy. And it's just so crazy how everything just mushes together with that. So anyway, that's kind of a blurb of it. I've got a whole bunch of videos on my YouTube, and my Facebook is where they're all stored. I need to go through and find them all and put them all on my YouTube because it's just a good story. So anyway, that's it. Not very long, I hope, again today. Anyway, I wanted to share that. Thank you for following me on this journey. And again, thank you for letting me share all these stories of all these wonderful humans that come into my life. And watch out for more because I'm not done. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to interview all the people that'll let me interview them everywhere, anywhere. So that's kind of my story. I've been extremely blessed. I know not every adoptee finding their birth family, the story ends up this way. I'm one of those lucky ones, but because I know there's some people that want nothing to do with them. Ugh, and I just can't imagine because you put your heart out there and you got to prepare for heartbreak, whether it comes one way or the other. So anyway, okay, that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, please message me, leave a comment, anything like that. So thank you. Thank you for coming on this journey with me and continue to go on this journey with me. And hopefully I'll get to Colombia one day and you guys can all witness and watch that. So, all righty. Thanks, guys.